Hey guys, happy Wednesday to you. I am bringing you a little illustration. I've been missing you guys. I know I've been able to see several of you in the family friendly room on Sunday mornings, or some of you, I shouldn't say several, but some of you, but I do miss you guys, and I've been praying that in the next weeks and months we'll be able to be all together again. I don't know what that's going to look like as things reopen, but I do miss you guys. So I have two little announcements. One of them is on July 12th, we are going to reopen just the preschool area on Sunday mornings. So teachers are going to be expected to wear, or volunteers are going to be expected to wear face masks while they're in there, not the students, not the preschoolers. So we're still going off of last school year, so 2019, 2020. If your kiddo has not started kindergarten yet, that's what we're talking about, is students who have still not started kindergarten yet. That preschool area is going to be open on Sunday mornings, and students will just go in there directly. They won't change rooms or anything. The playroom won't be open. We will not have a normal We Praise service where, usually we would bring the caterpillars and dragonflies and bumblebees into one room. We're not going to do that. The person who's teaching the We Praise lesson will visit each room, and they'll just do a very brief one song and a shortened Bible story. So that's going to happen on July 12th. So be looking for that. And then, and if you're a volunteer and you haven't heard back from me about when your rotation starts, don't worry, I'm getting to it. I've just finished hearing from all the volunteers who are willing to serve. And then the second thing is next Thursday, not tomorrow, not the 2nd, but next Thursday, which I think is the 9th. Yep, that's correct. That afternoon, we're going to have a Zoom meeting one more time. So it'll be before the drive-through VBS or Staycation Bible School bag pickup. It'll be that afternoon for 30 minutes or so. The last time we had one of those a couple weeks ago, it was really fun. We got to play some fun games, and I got to see some faces that I haven't seen in a while, so I love doing that. So be looking for information for a Zoom meeting on July 9th, that afternoon. All right. So this morning I was reading the Bible, and I ran across a verse that made me pause. Do you guys ever do that? You're reading the Bible, or you hear a Bible story and you're like, oh, that's interesting. I haven't thought about it in that way in a while. And so this is the verse. It was from Mark chapter 9, verse 50. It says, salt is good, but if the salt has lost its saltiness, how will you make it salty again? Have salt in yourselves and be at peace with one another. So there are a couple parts that made me pause for a second. One of it is, but if salt has lost its saltiness, I have no clue how that happens. I don't know how salt would lose its saltiness. Like, I don't know if it got wet, but if it gets wet, it dissolves. I don't know what that means. All I can think of is somebody gets some sand in their mouth that they mistook for salt. It's a terrible feeling because it doesn't dissolve like salt does it? Sand doesn't. It's just gritty in your mouth. So I don't know what that means if salt has lost its saltiness. But it says, have salt in yourselves and be at peace with one another. There's this colloquialism, or I guess it's a word that we use. I guess it's not a colloquialism, but if somebody's language is salty, a lot of times when we say that's actually not a good thing. Like, I think of like pirates having salty language back in the old days, when pirates roamed the seas, and their language was salty matey. That meant that they had kind of filthy language. That's not what we're talking about, because this verse in Mark 9, verse 50 is talking to believers. It's saying, have salt in yourselves, be flavored with salt, and be at peace with one another. So that tells me the saltiness is a good thing, that we want to be flavored with salt. Look at this pretzel. What's all over that makes it taste so delicious? Can you see those giant salt crystals? It's the salt crystals that taste delicious, isn't it? The salt crystals taste good. So it's whenever things are flavored with salt that they're delicious. Whenever you bake cookies, you even put salt in cookies, because when things are seasoned with salt, it enhances the flavor. And that's how we are supposed to live, boys and girls, families. We are supposed to live as flavored with saltiness. And that means living in a way that when people have experiences with us, they are left going, that was just good. That was just right. So if you're going for a pretzel, it's just the right amount of saltiness. And if you're going for a sugar cookie, it's got just enough salt to bring out the flavors of a sugar cookie or whatever it is. Almost any dish you cook has a little bit of salt in it, unless you're like a sodium-free diet. Okay, so if you have heart issues and you've been to grandpa's house and they have heart issues and they have to have a sodium-free diet or a low sodium diet, have you ever had a cracker without salt in it? Not delicious. Not great. Or have you ever, they're not that good. If you have to live like that, that's fine. But this Bible verse is telling us we need to live salty lives. And living a salty life will help us to be at peace with one another. How do we know if we're being salty? What does that mean? It means that we're demonstrating the fruit of the Spirit, which is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, and self-control. So that's what it means to have saltiness. That we live in a way that honors God. How do you do that? How do you enhance that salty flavor? How do you build the saltiness in your life? Well, you have fellowship with fellow believers who encourage you to live in a way that honors God. The things that you watch honor God. The things that you play honor God. You read the Bible. You listen whenever it's a teaching time. You sing songs that are worshipful. You fill up on things that honor God. And the more that you fill up on things that are towards God and honoring to God, the more that that's going to come out in our interactions with others. And so when we fill up on good things and on godly things, that's how we live a salty life at peace with one another. Right now, we're in such a weird time politically because it's an election year. Let's just face it. Election years, things always get a little dicey, right? People are cutting others down for their beliefs, or there's these questions, and there's a lot of arguing and things. That is not salty behavior, according to the Bible. That's not living at peace with one another. So while it's tempting to want to argue with people, and if y'all have met me, you know that I can be a little argumentative. I'm like, well, is that really what it says? I don't mind a little bit of conflict. So if you know me and you're like, well, okay, Sharon, you know that I might have an argument or two every once in a while. But when we live at peace with one another, our goal is to be patient and long-suffering with one another and to be salty. So we don't want to be known for our argumentativeness, but we want to be known for our saltiness, for our love, our joy, our peace, our patience, our kindness, our goodness, and our self-control, right? I hope you guys have a great Wednesday, and I'm looking forward to Staycation Bible School. If you're still not sure about that, look on cbf.us/events, and there's a little icon there. If you're on your phone, it looks a little jumbled up, or it does on my phone anyway. But if you look on your laptop, you can see a little icon that has Staycation Bible School on it. And there's information there. If you go on Facebook, there's an event, a public event for that. I'm really looking forward to it. I looked today, so today's July 1st. As of today, there are 52 kiddos registered for Staycation Bible School. I'm super excited. I hope some of you guys are considering doing a backyard VBS. All right. Love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.